What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So this is a story I remembered the other day. It was 1993. I was still pretty much fresh out of the California Youth Authority. I had only been out 5 months. And I was picked up for a murder case. Unfortunately for me, the officials, the whatever you want to call them, the cops, the DA, everybody, decided that they were going to make an example out of me, right? During my trial, I remember they said that I hadn't been a law-abiding citizen since I was a baby. And growing up in a city as beautiful as Santa Barbara, I was looked at as one of those that I was destroying their paradise. And so they made it clear they were going to set an example out of me. However, this story actually deals with my first night in the county jail. Keep in mind, I went to the California Youth Authority when I was 15 years old. I had never been to the county jail before. I didn't know the county jail program. I didn't know what to expect. And so after a few hours of interrogation at the at the police department, after playing cat and mouse for hours, after my own co-defendant, my so-called homeboy, coming into the interrogation room and snitching on me directly in front of me, I was tired. I wanted to go get to the county, get through the process, hit my rack, and just rest my head for a little while. Well, I got to the county jail, and believe it or not, when I walked through the doors, there was a group of sheriffs that actually were clapping that they got me. I was arrested 2 days after the fact, after the case. And these guys were literally clapping. I remember looking at them like, damn, they don't have nothing else to do? The fuck? So that set the tone, I guess, right? So I went through the whole booking process, sat up front for a long time, few hours. They decided that they were going to sell me up in high power, Northwest ISO, bottom tier. And so I'm walking, I go through, and the Northwest part of the jail is all cell living. So is Front Central. Front Central had just opened up when I got busted. Then you had the old county, which was, it's bars. They have the bars, the old school county jail type stuff that you would, imagine in your head. So I go into the Northwest. They escort me to my cell. The lights are out. It's in the middle of the night now. I can't see into the cell. The cell door pops. Bah! I open it up. I step in. I close the door behind me. I can't see my cellmate. But I hear his voice. And it's distinct to my ears. It's a black dude. I've told the stories how the most racist place I've ever done time was in the California Youth Authority. I was at 19 years old. That night when I got picked up, I was had been convinced that I was the baddest motherfucker on the planet, Holmes. Nobody was going to convince me otherwise. However, I was no dummy. When I stepped in that cell, and my cellmate, I don't remember what he said. I think he just said, "Hey, what's up, man?" or something. And I heard his voice. My first thought was, Am I supposed to get off on this dude? But I said, you know what, let me play this because I don't know. I don't want to get off on my celly and then I'm in trouble because other homies like, hey, what are you doing, Holmes? You just fucking coming in here and just running your own program. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm going to see what he's doing. And in the morning, I'll get at the homies and then it'll go from there. Because I don't know the program. I don't know what's going on. But I won't put it past the cops to set me up. That's what's in my mind. For those of you that don't know, Santa Barbara County, you pick up a case in Santa Barbara County, they pick it up. The DA will pick it up. They prosecute everything. They love it. They want the money. So this dude starts talking to me, right? And I know what he's doing. He's filling me out. He's like, hey, man, where you from? And I said, I'm from the West Side. And it was known back then, in that era, the West Side was, there were no blacks on the West Side. They were on the East Side. And the West Side hated everything on the East Side. So the fact when I told him I was from the West, I think he was like, okay. But it turned out he was actually a blood from LA. Because I asked him, I said, where you from? And he said, wherever he was from. I said, man, ain't that from LA? And he goes, yeah. So you're a blood? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, how is it here? I said, I've never been here, but there's really no bloods in Santa Barbara County. I said, all the Crips and Bloods are mainly in Lompoc. And I believe they're all Crips. I said, there might be a couple bloods, but I don't think so. I said, you're probably going to be the only blood in this county jail. I said, but you from LA, so I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be like for you. We talked, and I think we both understood we were filling each other out. But the fact that he didn't get off on me was like, okay, maybe they just do this here. But again, I know I got a gang of homies there. I'll find out in the morning, and it'll go from there. So we talked, small talk. And I at some point, I dozed off. Because I remember in the morning, I hear music. I remember picking my head up and looking at my cellie like, damn, they got music in here? And I asked him, like, wait, they got music in here? And he goes, nah, it's the phone. And that's when I noticed a phone in the cell. And the receiver was hanging. It was just dangling. And I said, hey, like, was that your lady playing music for you? And he was like, nah, it's the party line. Now, mind you, I had been busted from 89 to 93 in YA. So I wasn't even hit to the party line. I skipped all that, right? And so he's playing music, and I was like, okay. And I could see from my cell into A module. There's A, B, C, D, and then there's the 2 tiers of isolation, right? And I could see my homeboy, Mondo, from the projects right there. And he's like, what's up? And I looked and I went to the door. I was like, what's up? And probably not even a minute after that, the cops get on the intercom. And they tell my cellie, hey, pack your shit. You're moving. And I don't remember that he moved to either C or D pod. And he was like, all right. Grabbed his shit and boom, he was out of there. So I start cleaning up the cell, move my stuff to the bottom bunk. I'm chilling. And I hear somebody calling me. And I go to the front of my cell, and there's my homeboy Mondo again. And he goes, hey, who's your cellie? And I said, I don't have one. And he says, who was your cellie? And I said, a blood. And he shakes his head. And he said, they tried to set you up. So, there you have it. My first day in the county jail, the cops did what they could, gave me a few hours in that cell to try to set me up, to charge me with a whole nother case, even though I was already being indicted for special circumstances of lying in wait and facing the death penalty or life without the possibility of parole. The dirty games that get played in there, right? That dude could have killed me, or I could have killed him. I guess I have to say I'm thankful that he didn't get off. I don't know if I would have won. I don't know if he would have won. But I know it could have got very ugly. And I don't think he was serving any real time. Definitely not compared to what I was going to be looking at and what I wound up doing. But that's just a little glimpse into how dangerous incarceration is. You know, people say that I'm a hypocrite because I say one day can be dangerous, but then I make fun of Wes Watson. They're not comprehending what I'm saying. Wes Watson wasn't sentenced to 10 years, yet for some reason, that's all he talks about is he did 10 years. This story is clear proof. My first day in the county, I could have got into it with my cellie. He could have had a strap, as far as I know. I didn't. We could have got into it. One of us could have been severely injured, died, who knows what. The cops didn't care who won. They wouldn't have cared. It was just another case for the DA and another warm body in the county jail for them. Job security. That's my video today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. Matter of fact, give me 1 second. Let me just shout out those that donated rather than typing it so we can get straight to this. Mac 11, DL, YJC, Sam Bermudez, Ordinary Man, Troublesome One, MTK, and Manny Murillo. Thank you guys so much for always supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.